Hey besties. Okay, so we are back with another Townies by Worlds makeover, and I've been meaning to get to like these townies since the Life and Death expansion pack even came out, but I had a lot of mixed feelings, and I kind of had to like, I don't know, sit down and like process them and like play with some of the sims a little bit before I really wanted to make them over, really. And I still kind of haven't even gotten around to interacting with like all of them yet. So I figured I'd start with the Gomes household, and I've barely interacted with these guys, but in my personal legacy save, my I think Gen 4 heir actually married Nyan, so Olive Specter's son, and he's like kind of vaguely familiar with this family, and I think like all the other townies in the world. So like I feel like I've interacted with them a bit more than the others, purely like through him. But I really like their style, and I really wanted to keep like their hair because I really enjoyed the hair, I think, from the Life and Death expansion pack. I think it was really fun. I don't know, it really spoke to me. I really like the vibes because it's like kind of vintage, and like as a history lover, I really like fashion history particularly, so it really spoke to me actually. And so I really wanted to keep his like really cool sort of vintage kind of hair, and also just like their vibes. Like I feel like they have like a very particular vibe, and I think they're supposed to be related to somebody in the Goth family. Yeah, I believe it's like some distant relative from like the Goths that they're related to, and I thought that was really cool. So I know that like the Goths have a very particular, almost like Adam's family kind of aesthetic, and that they all kind of like match each other's vibes, you know. So I wanted these guys to match, like the whole family to match vibe wise, which means they kind of had to be dressed sort of similarly to like the vibes of the pack. But again, like I really enjoyed the vibes of the pack. I think the part that really did not speak to me personally were like the ghost parts of this pack, because that I realized I still have not really played with, and I was supposed to do like a whole like let's play and like it was supposed to be like an entire thing, and then I realized like I don't really care about that. Like I never cared about ghosts. I still don't care about ghosts. The rebirth option for me is like bugged. Like I can do rebirth, but like it leaves me like an infinite loading screen, and I don't think it's a mod. I think it may just be like the feature for me, but it could be a mod. I don't know. Like I don't really interact with ghosts ever. Like when my sim dies, like they die. And especially with like all the other aspects of this pack, like it actually made it more fulfilling for like me to allow my sims to die. So it's like I've never used ghosts, never. Never played with ghosts, never. That was really never me. I don't like kill my sims for no reason. Like I'm not that kind of simmer. Like I like my sims to like live, or if they die, like they die, and that's just kind of it, you know. And I also complained that like I feel like, I don't know, the resources should have maybe have gone to like a different occult that could have used a little refresh. I don't know, like I'm still a little upset by that. But I do think that the pack had some really interesting bits. Like I think the cast was really good. I think the builds and buy was really good. I think the world was fun, and it's very pretty, as like all Sims 4 worlds are, but like I don't know. I feel like it kind of lost me with like the ghost gameplay, and also the fact that it's like clearly like a Halloween themed pack, but it came out on Halloween, which kind of ruins the entire vibe, because by the time you're playing it, especially if you're like a person who can't even usually buy it on release day, like it's so far past Halloween that you kind of don't like, it's no longer relevant, you know. I don't know, it kind of ruined it for me. Like I feel like it should have came out earlier on in October, so that way you could have like the fun spooky vibes and like play with ghosts and like experience that for like Halloween. Like I think it was kind of a missed opportunity to drop it earlier. I think that would have helped it a lot. especially for me. I don't know. I really like seasonal things. So I feel like, I don't know, it should have been dropped like just a little bit earlier. But I actually really loved the sim. I like really enjoyed her style. And I really love this family actually. Like their style is pretty cool, and I like their little like bio or whatever. Like I don't know, it really spoke to me. I might actually have to like use these sims more, because I think they're really nice looking sims too. Like I think that's sort of like what's most telling. Like I know I've been saying that in like the like 1 year later ones of like earlier packs, but in the most recent ones, like I really don't have to change anything about the sims. Like the sims are not usually the issue. Like I really never have to do too much aside from like put custom content on that matches like my sim style. Like it's great, and it's making this videos like shorter and shorter. This is the shortest one, largely because I kind of didn't do the ghost household. Like there's like one particular ghost household, and there's literally no reason for me to do that, because you will literally never see anything that I do for them, because they're like translucent. Like you will literally never see any makeover that I do, so it kind of was like a waste of time. And yeah, and the like Sims delivery had just come out that day, so I was just like seeing what new hairs came with it. And they were pretty good. Like I love this little, like, I don't know if it's like a wolf cut, but it kind of reminds me of wolf cut, because I remember when that was like a thing on TikTok in like 2022 I think, and I thought they would like really vibe with like a wolf cut, and also like a particular color, because they had that like multicolored hair from the pack, and it was a little much, not gonna lie. And I think that just like the orange was good. Like I think that was a really good color choice. I think it worked really well for them, and I sort of kept them very like black and white, which I also think is fun, because it's kind of like the goth, but like not quite, you know, considering that they're all supposed to be related to the goths. Like I think it'll be fun to like keep a sort of vibe. They're not quite as like color coded as the goths, where it's like red and black, but like I think black and white, grays. I think their mom wears a lot of like purple and green, and their dad kind of also does the same too. And so I wanted to keep them a bit more like black, white, gray, because they seemed to like vibe with those kinds of colors. But yeah, I think Elmira is actually like my favorite sim of like the pack, aside from Olive. I think Olive definitely became my favorite when I gave her a makeover, and you'll see in like a second. But I definitely think that this sim is like my second favorite. I like their vibes, I like their look. They don't look like any sim that I've ever seen or made before, and I really like that. And like oddly enough, these makeovers kind of turned into more of like a Maxis, actual like Maxis match mix sort of thing, because I use a lot of like actual game assets, which frightened me a little. But like some of the outfits and like clothing choices were actually really nice, so I was able to sort of use those, especially for like their dad and stuff, like, and that really beautiful formal dress that their mom wears. Like I couldn't get rid of that, I'm sorry. That's like my favorite thing from this pack. Let me move on to the Spectre households, and laying coffin, I think it's really iconic that like he was added in. But like this is definitely like a Sims 2 family down. Like if you don't know like the Sims 2 lore surrounding Olive and like that entire household, then I feel like you really wouldn't understand. Like you wouldn't vibe with this family. But like Olive Specter's basically like, she had her own graveyard, like legit. Like she had and filled her own graveyard. So like laying coffin was, I love how I call him laying coffin, but like it's laying coffin, but like It's basically lay-in coffin. And he was like one of the graves that you could like hover over, and they all had really fun like death innuendos, and it was really fun. And I like that he got his own like actual character basically, and like a character model, and his vibes are very cool, and I had to keep him very much themed to this pack because it's literally made for him, you know. And like the mustache combo and the hair and the glasses, like I had to keep those. I really did not change much about him. Like he was just a little too iconic, and I had to keep it. Like I just had to. But Olive, like I have thoughts, and I'm glad that it like I sort of stepped back, played with the Sims, and really like thought about it before I decided to give them a makeover, because I have a couple thoughts, and I thought that like the Sims 4 was kind of over whitewashing Sims, but like low key I feel like they kind of whitewashed Olive. Like I'm gonna put a photo up of what she looked like in The Sims 2, because I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like they kind of did it again, you know. Like she was much more melanated back then, and I didn't like the blonde, I'm not gonna lie. So like I wasn't really too upset by like the hair color change, but like they made her a lot lighter. And I don't know why they did that, but like I don't even think I made her dark enough. Like actually I could probably have made her darker, because like I don't know if it was just like the limitations of the Sims 2 cast at the time, because we really weren't working with very much, like there were like 4 skin tones. So I don't know if this is the skin tone that they had intended her to be and they just went with like whatever was closer in their minds, or if that's like a thought that they didn't think about. But like they do this a lot when they bring over Sims from previous like Sims games into the Sims 4, and they use like the excuse of like an alternate timeline, but like why do they not look like anything that they did previously, you know? Like Liberty Lee and Candy and Yuki, I mean sometimes low-key it's like for a reason, because some of them were a little racist, but like I don't know, like I think that we really need to be thinking about how we revive these kinds of like sim icons, and like the choices that we make when we do that, because she was very brown in The Sims 2 and she's not brown now. Like she's like brown, but like you know what I mean, like it's not the same at all. And like, is it purposeful? Did nobody think about that? Like these are the questions that like I sort of had, and I didn't really notice it because I never really played The Sims 2. Like I only played it semi recently. I started The Sims with The Sims 3, so like I was vaguely aware of Olive Spectre. Like I knew her story, but I didn't really know what she looked like. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, so I watched, I think, Plumbella's video and like The Sims 2 lore, and I was like, wait a minute. That's not the same lady. But my little rant about whitewashing aside, I think she's my favorite Sim. I do think so. I enjoy her so much. Like I think her like character model now is so good, beautiful, like actually such a good Sim. And the fact that like she's literally like a villain but also kind of not, like a villain with reasons, you know. But like she just looks so like chill, very like normal, and it's like I don't know, I love that. Like I really love that. And so I tried to keep her very much in like this sort of greeny, bluey, dark teal color. I don't really know what that color would be called, but it looks really nice on her, and it's literally her eyeshadow color. So I think it was just like perfect for her as like a main character color. And I thought this little like curly medium cut is so cute, and I think it really pulled everything together. I don't know, but I was able to keep her styled in a way that I think she would be styled, you know. I think the only thing that's a little happier and a little too like normal is like her hot weather outfit, but like I don't mind it either. Like, it's still in her colors, so like I don't really care. I went for vibes for hot weather, but like I think everything else feels right to me. Cause like she is a mom. Like in this reality, like I think she's raising Nyan and he has a name and everything. Like I don't know. Like I think she's like a better person in this version. Which I can accept. I do kind of prefer it because I think the way that like Nyan slash like nervous subjects it was treated in The Sims 2 was crazy. Like crazy. I'm glad that they have like given him justice. He has a name. He has like a family kinda now. And like that's just it's nice. It's very nice. I like that a lot actually. And I'm not just saying that because like Gen 5 of my legacy is like all his kids, but like I just think it's really nice and like I don't know, it made me happy. What didn't make me happy was everyone being like really weird about him having a name now. Like everyone's like, oh, like he's still gonna be nervous subject to me, or like they go in and like they change his name to nervous subject, and I'm like, do you guys not understand why he was called that? Like, do you want him to be nervous subject for the rest of his life? Like, is this not a better version of him, like with a happier life and stuff? Like I don't, that was a little weird to me. I don't know if it was weird to anybody else, but that was a little weird to me. I did not appreciate that. I definitely side-eyed everybody that said that because I think this is a much better, happier, friendlier like sequence of events for him, and he gets to actually be a person with a name. Like I don't know, you know. And I kept him very similarly styled to how he like came in game for the most part. Very casual, darker colors, a little bit alternative, but not really. And I kind of styled him the way that I kind of styled him in like my actual save. And I keep the mohawk because like it's too iconic. Like it's too iconic. I can't possibly do that to him. But I know that when I play with him, I think it's like all Grimborn kids, they like get random gifts and they're always a little like taken aback by it. Like, oh, what is this weird gift? Like, so I think he's like into horror, but like not quite into like Grim Reaper stuff. And I don't know if he knows that the Grim Reaper is his father. Like I'm headcanoning that like he doesn't know, but he just gets these like random gifts in the mail every now and again. And he's like, what is this? And I think that's cooler. So he's like a horror fan, but like he doesn't know, you know? And then this is the last household that I do because I don't do the ghost households. And I actually was able to read the like household description for this one. And I genuinely never played with this family. I've never seen them really. Like I just know that they exist. And it turns out that this human sim is married to the ghost sim, but I think like the son doesn't know about, like he doesn't believe in ghosts or something like that. And so like I think that's fun though. It's not realistic to the Sims because like obviously he'll know, like they're in the same household, but like I think that's fun. And like he has to like sort of work into believing in ghosts and like knowing that his dad is a ghost now. Like I think that's fun. That's an interesting dynamic. I wish it could actually be true. Like I wish it was like a skeptical. Is there a skeptical trait actually? Hold on. I actually don't know, but I wish there was. I think that would be fun. And it would make sense for him to have that because like he kind of doesn't believe in ghosts. And I don't know, it was kind of sad taking the family pics actually because like the ghost dad is just there and it's like, this is a little depressing. But like I actually really liked this household more than I thought I was going to, honestly. And I like the amount of like diversity that we have, especially at a time where like diversity is going through the ringer right now. Like, it's not looking too good. Like I appreciate that The Sims is just like the same as it's always been, and it's really comforting to know that that won't change, and it makes me happy, you know. Give me all the woke, give me all the diversity, and I really appreciate like the journey that like The Sims has gone on and like where we are now. I don't know how I got so deep so far. Like I was just gonna talk about like this kid sim and his like crow costume, and I got really sentimental. But like, I took this off because I'm sorry. Like, what? Like, why is he wearing that? Like, I don't know. I gave him more of like a grungy kind of look because I think it's like a casual kind of grunge, you know? I feel like that made more sense. It's like, and also I would like the foreheads of these hair models to not be ridiculous. Like, that hair has never been fixed and it needs to be fixed, like, officially, because it's crazy. Like, I don't know, I feel like they don't put as effort into polishing up, you know, some of the cast items sometimes, specifically the hairs sometimes. I feel like, I don't know, maybe we gotta look back on certain cast assets just one more time before they release. I don't know, it might help a little bit. And I considered keeping his like little flamenco costume for hot weather because I thought that was really cute, but I could not do it. I couldn't do it to him, I'm sorry. And then the screenshots, obviously I'm taking them all in like their home lots, and it's such a pretty world. It's like I'm actually playing in it with my legacy, and it's really pretty. I just don't really do anything with it, and I feel like that's like a sentence that could be said about like the entire Sims 4 as of lately, really from its beginning. But like, I want a little bit more like deeper gameplay this year, and like something else, you know, something else, because I feel like I rely a lot on mods, and I don't know, I just want something a little deeper.